Hello Ride On people. Unusually it's not 70 to 100 degrees or anything like that today. It's around freezing and the snow is coming down, which can only mean one thing, that we're getting to the end of the year. Had a great year on YouTube, my first year here. My subscription rates have gone up and the amount of videos I've been able to post have increased, and the number of likes and shares and whatnot have all gone up as well. So it's been a fun year so far, and I have a lot of ideas for 2018, so I hope you will stay with us. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe now, and we'll go on some adventures together in 2018. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's watched my videos this year, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year with your friends, family and loved ones. The year started off with a trip to Deal's Gap to ride the Dragon. In March came the Atlanta Motorcycle Show with highlights, triumphs, Street Triple RS and the Bonneville Bobber. Next was an evening at Trendy Terminal West for the Triumph Brutal Beauty Tour. That was a lot of fun with DJs, burnouts, painters, trendy barbers, girls with sliders, free drinks bar, and of course the Triumph Bobber. Very, very cool. In March, after videoing my friend's Ducati collection, I also got to ride the Triumph Bobber for myself, and that was a lot of fun. Great character, great handling little bike, a bit limited ground clearance and front brake could be better, but boy did it look and sound good. Then I figured it was about time that I showed off my threading black Ducati Monster 1200R, resplendent in super loud Terminoni race pipes with Ducati Monster stickers on the wheels, full Öhlins suspension, M50 monoblocks, TFT screens et al. I was still captivated by the Triumph Bonneville Bobber and went back to the shop for another listen to that wonderful parallel twin. Still in March, it was all change, and I bought a new BMW R1200 GS Adventure triple black, fully loaded with all the packages. The big GS is my third BMW GS, and I couldn't be more happy with it to date. 6,000 miles and counting. At the end of the month, I had a few hundred miles on the bike. I managed to get out in the mountains with my friends on a perfect day and provided quite a bit of feedback in a nice video on Wolfpan Gap. Finally, in March, I got to ride to Alabama to the Little River Canyon National Preserve and lunch at Mentone with my good buddies Charlie and Jerry. In early April, it was time for the 600-mile service, and while there, I also got the opportunity to check out the new for 2017 Ducati Desert Sled. Back in April, I was supposed to ride to Tennessee with Eric and Wayne and also Charlie and I, basically, and that really didn't go to plan because we got sidetracked at Dutch Monkey Donuts, and then we also ended up going to Toccoa River Restaurant for lunch. April seemed a nice time to pop by our Indian dealership, check out the new hardware for the spring. So I dragged Charlie along with me and also Eric for the ride. And then afterwards we ended up at our Triumph dealers and we were checking out the new Motus made in Alabama before having some lunch at the Pool Room in Dawsonville, and then finally ending up at Two Wheels of Suches. A nice day out. Rounded off April with two final videos. The first one was an in-depth look at some of the features of the GS Adventure. It was a very well received video in the end, actually. It seemed people were crying out for a little bit more detailed content than just the stuff you can read at kind of magazine launches. And the other video I did was one of a pillion's perspective, using my wife Julie as the guinea pig. And she found the bike extremely comfortable, loved everything about it, but did find the grab handles a little bit thin. In May we had a ride up to Tallulah Point Overlook by the Tallulah Gorge. was the location of where the great Wallenda made an amazing tightrope walk across that gorge to create history. And from there on, we moved on to Clayton, and a little place called the Rusty Biker Cafe, which I can certainly recommend for a place to eat. In the middle of the month, my new Brooks panniers turned up, and initial impressions were favourable with good, solid, sturdy build quality. They look pretty good on the bike overall, but I wanted some reflection at night time, so I added a Venture sticker kit, which is dark by daytime and reflective at night. It was a good opportunity to compare Jerry's BMW panniers, which are made by Touratech, with the Brooks panniers side by side. Our overall verdict was that the BMW ones may be just slightly better, not much in it really, but overall for the money, which is about half the price, we'd go with the Brooks every time. I then made a brief video about my ebook thriller 415. If you like a good murder mystery, download it and enjoy it. Ride on 20 saw me make a video about detailing the bike, showing off some of the products that I use that work for me personally. I followed that up with a video on how to cover and protect the pannier lids from damage using clear film. I also made a video about some stickers that I put on the wheels to really make them pop after dark, along with the graphics that I put on the panniers, and overall I was really pleased with the way they came out. In June, I went for a ride with my riding buddies, Irvin, and regulars Eric and Charlie, and also my friend John Booker joined us on that ride, up to Helen for lunch, and then we got on Wolf Pen Gap, which is the State 180 highway road from the kind of Helen area, all the way up to Two Wheels of Suches, and if you're ever in the neighbourhood, highly recommended. In the last year, I bought an Arai adventure helmet, and it's proved to be a quality piece of kit. I really like it, and it's very stylish as well. Highly recommended. In July, I paid the Barber Motor Museum a visit. It's the best motorcycle museum in the world, and they have a lot of cars there too. I made 4 videos there. They weren't so greatly viewed. If you have time, go back and view them, because there's some amazing footage, and it's just an amazing place to visit. In late July, I did a comparison video between the Triumph Bonneville Bobber, the Harley-Davidson Sportster 48, and the Indian Scout Bobber, and that video went quite viral and was very well received. August saw some more farkling with the bike's panniers. Firstly, coating the interior with a sticky-backed memory foam protective cover, and then also on the Brooks inner bags. Next was a ride to the Ugly Dog pub in Highlands with Jerry and Charlie. We had lively banter about the bikes in the news, then visited one of Charlie's friends who had an absolutely adorable little pug who stole the show. In August, I got to ride the standard Indian Scout, and it was a real treat actually, a nice little bike that is, and continues to sell well for Indian. Ride on 34 saw a beautiful day and a ride up Fort Mountain to LEJ, where we stopped at the Canterbury Cafe for a bite to eat with Jerry, Charlie and Ed on that particular day. And outside there was a real interesting kind of chopped bob twin, and that caught our attention. In mid-August, I was one of the first YouTubers to bring my initial impressions of the BMW K1600B Bagger, the new custom inline 6 from BMW. It actually turned out to be a bit of a trilogy in the end, with a number of test rides on that particular machine, and it's definitely been a firm favourite this year. It's an awesome machine. If you get the chance to ride one, absolutely do. Please check out all my videos on the K1600B in the Ride On series. At the tail end of August, I managed to get up to the Dragon again, this time with Charlie, and also with a new riding pal, Doug, who also joined us, and had plenty of banter at lunchtime with him, which was fun. The Dragon was very busy, and it was a Saturday afternoon or lunchtime. We had to be a little bit careful on the Dragon just because of the volume of traffic on there, but otherwise conditions were perfect for riding. We had a great day out. In September, I took delivery of a new heads-up display from Nuviz, but due to some quality control issues with the delivered product, I decided that it wasn't for me and I returned it. The customer service was very good and reviews of the product are good, but it just wasn't for me. Mid-September was special as I got my first ride on the Bmw K1600B inline 6, and it's a very special bike. I really enjoyed riding it, and it's definitely a potential next bike whenever the time comes to change my GSA. That same weekend, I also got to check out the new Harley-Davidson all-new Softail platform in person, particularly the two key bikes, if you like, I guess, the Fat Bob and also the new Fat Boy, and both will look pretty good in the flesh. I'll have to ride one soon. Ride on 40 was the British car and bike show in Norcross. Chance to eat fish and chips, check out old Morgan's. It's a great day out for the family. The kids love it. There's old Austin Healey's there. There's patinaed Moggy Miners. There's Aston Martins and Rolls Royces, you name it. I bumped into a friend, Mario, who's got a tricked out Jawa sidecar, and he's part of the local Ducati Owners Club. Still in mid-September, my Indian dealer called me and invited me down to have a look at the new Indian Scout Bobber that they had in the showroom there, and I gave that a coat of looking at, and but a very busy time for me, so riding one would have to wait to another day. Jerry also took a ride with me up to Bell Mountain in Hiawassee for some of the best scenic views available in Georgia. I mean, it was just absolutely breathtaking. I'd never been up there before, and she'll certainly return again. We had a great lunch, also at a scenic place, at a golf resort just close to Hiawassee there, and we deliberated about Harleys, having just been to a demo day the week before. Charlie was very diplomatic, but I don't really see him owning a Harley anytime soon. Additionally, on the way back, we got to see some busking from our bluegrass band in Dahlonega, and I also managed to run my range down on the GS all the way to 4 miles, so I know it's accurate. That's Germans for you. September still wasn't out when I went to Killer Creek in Roswell and interviewed General Manager there, Elvis, about the Killer Creek Harley-Davidson store. If you're in the area, check them out. At the end of September, we went up to Hourglass Motorcycles for their annual open day, and I got to ride the Triumph Bonneville Bobber again, and it's such a lot of fun, that bike. I really enjoyed it. Next, I tried out the Bmw S1000xr. For me, they still haven't quite fixed the vibes. It's a very, very fast bike. Then I tried the new Triumph Street Triple R, the one in between the RS and the base model, and it's a fabulous machine for the road. So agile, so smooth, and those TFT clocks that Triumph have now are the best in the business. Moving on, I got to ride the BMW K1600 Bagger again. It's just fabulous. Jerry and I had some lunch at Aqualand, and Jerry said this.
The Bagger, I'm not going to say much about it, only that I can die a happy man now.
Early October saw our great getaway weekend to the Smoky Mountains. It was absolutely stunning. We had such a laugh along the way, Charlie and Jerry and I. We ended up at Fontana Dam, which was very scenic. I mean, it's just amazing sights there. You could spend hours videoing that. Stayed at a great place, Blue Waters Mountain Lodge. Stayed there many times. Food was superb, and we had plenty of banter, and it was just whole weekend was a lot of fun. So I think a big shout out must go to Charlie and of course Jerry for making that such a memorable weekend. I made some helmet reviews mid-October, starting with sharpieing my Schubert C3 Pro, my new Klim modular carbon fibre helmet with transitioning lens, which I really like. It's very light and cool. And also my Arai XD4, which is superbly made and of course extremely stylish and very strong. A few of us got to go up to BMW in Marietta to feast our eyes on the HP4 race bike, which is 78 grand's worth of carbon fibre beauty, basically, with a full carbon fibre frame and ready to race right out of the crate, basically. Very few will end up in private hands. A lot will go into I suppose a lot will go into collectors' hands, but most will go straight onto the track, I'm sure. And what an incredible track weapon that HP4 is. It was pretty stunning to see in the flesh. At the same event, I got to ride the new Ducati Desert Sled, part of their Scrambler range, and it proved to be a lot of fun. It's a good little bike, that, and it should appeal to a wide range of riders. And I got to ride the BMW K1600B inline 6 bagger again, and it just reinforced what I felt about it all along. It's just such a fabulous machine. And I got to try out the reverse gear again just for a bit of fun while parking up, much to the amusement of Ed and Jerry in the background. And finally, I got to ride the Ducati Supersport S. And what a finely balanced machine that is. It's very nice and takes on the modern mantle of the kind of old school sports tourer, if you like. It's there's racier bikes for the racetrack, and there's kind of softer bikes for the road, and this strikes a nice compromise for somebody that wants a sporting road bike with more comfortable ergonomics. November saw the Indian tour truck arrive, and we went along for some demo rides, and I tried out the Indian Springfield with accessories of ape hangers and tricked out wheels, and it was a good machine. Quite enjoyed it. Next, I tried the Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. It's a bike I find a little bit cramped for my 6'2" frame, so ultimately I think I preferred the Springfield. I then got to ride the Indian Scout Bobber. It's a bike I've been looking forward to riding for a long time. I like its mean and moody looks, but alas, I didn't enjoy the ride very much. No ground clearance, the main problem. Late November, Jerry really caught me by surprise by turning up on a beautiful black K1600B. Like me, he'd ridden it a couple of times throughout the autumn, and just absolutely fell in love with it and decided, why wait, I've got to have one, and all credit to him, it's an absolute beauty. At the end of November, at the Ducati Owners Club meet in Sandy Springs, we were treated to a presentation by ex-Ducati flat track racer David Lloyd. It proved to be a great evening, very interesting, and thankful to him for bringing his race bike along for us. December saw me swap 2 wheels for 4 wheels and a ride in the Ford Mustang GT 5-litre V8. It's a really good muscle car, but it didn't quite float my boat, although it certainly sounded nice. I found the big bad Raptor much more to my liking. The latest one has a 3.5-litre V6 twin-scroll turbos and pushes out 460 torques and over 510 horsepower through its 10-speed box. It has awesome road presence, and it really thunders along at very decent speeds at very low revs. Its Fox racing shocks help it glide along the road, and it's just an awesome truck overall. In my final video of the year, I gave a 6,000 mile update on the GS Adventure, working through any issues I'd had, such as a big screw through the rear tyre, replacement tyres, and also recall on the fork gator, and how I managed to carry a fresh set of tyres to the dealers to have them put on during the first service, and what the metal gators replacing the rubber ones looked like from the recall after the service, and the fresh tyres. Overall, the bike's been faultless, and I've had such a fabulous year on this BMW GS Adventure. Last but not least, ride often, ride safely, ride on.